Hello everyone, welcome to grade 7 ICT, and today we are going to see the unit number 3, the security of the computer system. So let's see what is this security means. What is the computer security? So here you can see the computer security is basically the protection of the computer system and information from harm, theft, and unauthorized use. It is the process of preventing and detecting unauthorized use of your computer system. Why this computer security is important? Because if you have a security break, or we have a security issue, it will be a threat for your data. It can be a very important file. It can be a very important picture. It can be an important assignment. It can be an important project, or it might be a top secret one. Okay, right. So computer security can be defined as the control that are put in place to provide confidentiality, integrity, and availability for all components of the computer system. So you must be able to provide each and every section, the protection. Because if you are unable to give the protection, it is not 100% secure. Remember that. So when you're going to consider to protect our system, we can divide our system into two parts mainly. Because if you take a computer consists of what? Hardware and software. So when you take in the computer security also, we can consider one section as hardware security and another one as the software security. So these are the two main sections we have to consider when you are considering the security. Okay, before we go to the computer hardware security, first we must know what are these hardware. What are these computer hardware? Now you can see there are a lot of hardware components. Okay, so we can say, as we can define as hardware as what? The physical components which can touch or tangible, we can consider them as the hardware. So we are considering them as the hardware. Now you can see in this one, there are a lot of pictures. You can see a web camera, a tablet, SD card, okay, palm top, a power supply, a printer, a microphone, headset, a processor, a chip, okay, then a power pack. Then we have a system unit, monitor, a CD-ROM, DVD, motherboard, a RAM, then a router, a keyboard, some cables, and we can see the CDs and the pen drives and wireless Wi-Fi routers like that. So these are we consider as what? The hardware. So if you talk about the hardware also, we have two categories. One thing is, now you have seen earlier picture. There are a lot of devices. So these devices, these hardware components, we can mainly categorize into two. They are as internal computer hardware devices and external computer hardware devices. Right? So there are different kinds. Right? So there are two types. One is internal, other one is external hardware. Internal hardware device and external hardware devices. Then if you talk about the internal hardware, what are the internal? It means it is inside your system unit. Now, when you see the system unit, you cannot see what is inside. When you remove the cover, you can see which are inside your system. So those are we call as internal computer hardware devices. So internal hardware is a device that is installed within the computer, which is inside. Now you can see there are some like hard disk and RAM, your power supply, and your processor, motherboard. So those are some examples for internal computer hardware devices. Okay. Then when you see the next one, it's the external computer hardware. So externally, so from the out. So the external devices that are installed outside the computer, we call them as external computer hardware device. So it's connected to the back of the computer. Now you can see we connecting our mouse, keyboard, your pen drive, your printer to the outside. So those are we consider as external computer hardware. Now you can see some of the devices. So you must be able to clearly divide these parts belongs to external, right? So you can see they are here. So when you take the security, so what are the main problems? What are the main security issues we have? So now you know when there's a sudden power failure, you have to be protected. And if you have overheated inside, it also you have to do something. And if you have dust gathers, it also matters. And issues related to theft also matter, right? So and overheat, those are some possible hardware security issues. Then we must be able to provide the protections against the malware. So malware is another one. We have software side. Software we have to see what are the malware means. So malware is a software which is installed and destroy your system. And these are some of the malware attacks you can happen to your system. So it can be a spyware, it can be adware, viruses, worms, trojans, bots, but likewise those things can be happen. And so what are these adware means? Adware means commonly called spam, unwanted emails or unwanted advertisement. This one is coming to your mail. Okay, right? So those things are then fileless malwares are like they are in viruses. So viruses are spreading through your pen drives and some email they are spreading. And if you take the worms, it is a duplicating, it's filling up. So once you have the worms, it fill up your hard disk. So there is no space to store your data. So make sure if you have a worm, it fill your hard disk space. Then when you're going to save or something, you don't have space to save. And the Trojans are the most dangerous one. So it is, it looks like friendly, but it will activate after that. Okay. So here it's there. And the other one is the bots. The software program that performs an automated task without requiring any interaction. Bots can execute attacks much faster than human ever could think about. Okay, so a computer with a bot infection can spread a bot to another device, creating what is known as botnet. We call that is as a botnet spreading. Then the other one is the ransomware. Now these days there are a lot of ransomware attacks. So ransomware attacks can be happen to your system. So it means they are asking, they are blocking your system and asking ransom to open those files or folders. So it will be seize or it will be freeze your system. So then you cannot open. To open, they are asking money and they are collecting this money in not rupees and dollars. They are asking for the bitcoins. Bitcoin is a very valuable things in when they come to the internet exchanging. So they are asking a lot of bitcoins for open this file. So it's a very highly risk at the moment. There's a high risk for you. So make sure don't allow them to come in. So you must be all protect your system properly. Another one is spyware. So it's spying. So it's they are looking at it's open on a corrupt file. So downloading suspicious file. So spyware also another kind of a trick for you. Then so what kind of damage? What kind of damage can be done through this malicious software? So first one is deleting or hiding or modification of data or information. So the most dangerous is the deleting. So once you delete, you cannot take it. So this from malicious software, they take your data out and you cannot take them back. And it creates now, you know, the worms. So worms is create new files and folders that is not belongs to you. And as well as what? It fill up your hard disk space. So you cannot save other work. You cannot do the other work and you cannot save those because you don't have now space anymore. And deletion or malfunction of alternation of the software behavior. Sometimes yesterday your word and your word package is perfectly okay. Now today after this infection or this malicious software, now you cannot open Word or you cannot open the Zoom. Okay, so those kind of things can be happen due to this malicious attacks. So decrease the efficiency of the computer. Your computer becoming slower and slow. So you can feel this machine is now getting slow. I cannot work. I cannot operate. That also kind of a signs to get an idea to you. Okay, there might be something happen to my computer. I must scan this one. So that should be come to your mind. So first of all, just scan it if you have a virus card and make sure you don't have any issues or any problems. And the next one, shut down the computer or restart again and again. While you are working, we say while you are typing a letter, it suddenly restart. You didn't press any button, but from these softwares, it automatically restart that program. So you cannot work with this word. So due to that, you cannot work with this word and it automatically shut down and it will happening again and again, repeating again. And unusual behavior in computer networks such as sudden disconnection or malfunction of network and inability to work with the network as usual. So in the network, when you have a network system in your computer, so you cannot send the messages. You are not getting the messages. That can be happen due to this malicious software. And unusual reduction of the capacity of the storage. As I told you, from the worms, what they do, they fill up the hard disk. So they take our space. So take our space, valuable space to save our document. Now, you cannot save your work. So it's what? It reduced our capacity as well. And what are the things you can minimize? First thing is you have to install an antivirus software. So you must know what are the antivirus softwares like Kaspersky or maybe AVG. So anything you can see, you can download something freely, and you can, if you really want to have a licensed one, you can purchase and install the antivirus. And so what you do? Open an external storage device only after scanning. So when someone give you a pen drive, or when someone give us maybe a memory card, don't plug it or just put it to the computer or laptop and don't open it. So first, before that, you have to open or you have to scan through your what? Virus guard. So virus guard or antivirus software which is installed. Okay, and you have to activate your firewall to protection. So activating a firewall will block many threats to your system coming through the internet. Right? If you are using internet, always access secure website. So always remember use what? HTTPS. HTTPS only. And do not open blacklisted website. Now sometimes you may have experience when you're opening a website, they will be blocked by your browser or maybe from your virus guard. For that one, if they have blocked, don't going to open it. Just keep blocking. Do not allow to open it. And do not click the pop-up. We are coming. Now, when you open up some website, we say you go to Facebook or you go to another, we say online website, it will open another related website to that. So don't go to open or don't go to open those pop-up windows. And do not open suspicious emails or attachments. If there is an email which comes from an unknown person, don't think to be open, you delete at once. Okay, so make sure if there's an unknown person has sent the email, just delete. Then for daily use, normally maintain a limited use of account. What does that mean? Now sometimes you may have a computer, one computer at your home, but there may be 2 or 3 persons. Like this way, you say your father may be having a computer, but there are 2 children want to do their homework, school homework. For that one, for the father also to do work, and the 2 children want to do their homework. Now, but they are having only one laptop, or they may have one computer or one PC. For that case, the father must be having an administrative account, and he or she or father or mother must give 2 accounts for their children. It's limited. It is limited there. So because when they are giving administrative account, password or permission, they can install any software or they can delete anything in your machine. But if they have given limited one, you cannot do that. You cannot install unwanted softwares, or you cannot remove or uninstall your valuable programs. So make sure to protection, you have to do these. You have to make a limited account, not the administrative account. Remember that. And you must do something called update all software installed in the computer, including the operating system. So make sure you update the operating system. So, and as well as you can see, once you log into the internet or you just connect to the internet at once, it check in the updations. And you must be able to update not only the operating system, you must update your virus guard also first. Because if you are not updating, even you have the world's most expensive virus guard, it will not guarantee your protection. So make sure update all these softwares up to date. Then your system will be work perfectly. And another thing, last point is what? Use only the original copy. Original copy means what? The licensed software. Original copy means the license. Now, most of the times, we may not able to take the license software. Why? It's too expensive. Because of that, we are using a pirate copy, a pirate software which work as the original. It is will be same as the original. You can do the work. Example, you can do Photoshop. You can do animate. So those things can go. You can use the word, but with that one, it also sometimes comes with viruses. So make sure they have to avoid. But the thing is, it is very difficult in our countries to make sure that. So you have to use the original software, but it's difficult. Okay, let's remember that. And another important thing is the backup system. So always you must able to have your backups. So if you don't have a backup, it's a very big problem to your future projects or future plans. Because if you miss your file in your pen drive or in your hard disk, there are no ways to take it back. Okay, so keeping backups is a very important thing. So when you have now, normally if you take the bank, so bank must be updated. Now there are millions of transactions happening in the bank. In a bank, it's happening millions of transactions. Or maybe a large organization like Microsoft or something, they are having a lot of servers, lot of things to do in the company. So those things you should back up. Okay. So copies kept in the backups can be used in the case of original copies misplaced. Now we say, now you lost the original, you have copy. Right? For the copy, you can complete the remaining part. If you don't have a copy, you cannot do anything. Okay. So for the taking backups, we can use these devices. We have what are those? We have a CD, DVD, external hard disk drive, and a pen drive. Okay. Or sometimes we can allocate another space. We say you have a big capacity in your hard disk. Maybe you have a 2 terabyte hard disk. So you can allocate a 1 terabyte hard disk, 1 terabyte partition for your backups. So you are always putting the backups to that second partition or maybe third partition, which has 1 terabyte. So you can copy those things and have the backup into that in the same system. Okay. Then we can provide the accessing the system. We can control by we have to put a difficult password first of all. So when you are on the computer, it will automatically on. No? So anyone can on the computer, then they can use whatever they want. But it is not a good thing. So you, as I told you earlier, you must have different accounts. So user account should be there. So one is for father, one is for son, one is for daughter, like that. Then you have to create a user account and then you have to do something called the encryption. Encryption should be done. Okay, let's see what are those. So what does this encryption means? So encryption means is the process of encoding information. Now we are saying, you are saying hello to a third person. So when this hello word comes to the encryption system, it will be turned into a unreadable format. If any third person gather that message, he or she cannot read it. But if there is no encryption in between these users, any third person can take and read the very important message in between them. So that's why we must use the encryption system here. Okay. So this one, you can say the process converts the original representation of the information known as the plain text into an alternative form known as a ciphertext. For the ciphertext, ideally authorized parties can decipher a ciphertext back to the plain text. So he can decrypt it and he can take the message. So only two persons can do that through part. Right? So, and here you have to keep the computer in a secure place, in the physical lock. So when you take it physically, we have to think about use of CCTV cameras and all biometric password. Nowadays, most of the times you can see in your phones or your some important devices, they have now these biometric passwords. So you have fingerprint scanning, you have retina scan, face recognition systems are there. So those things are now used for physically, right? So biometric ones you can see is a specific human characteristic that we can capture and use an authentication method in IT system. We are giving, after capturing the correct person fingerprint, we are allowing him to open the file. We are allowing him to enter to the bank locker. Likewise, right? So there are a lot of security things are there in the world. You can search it and you can find it. So what are the biometrical systems we are using in the world, right? So there are a lot of now there. And the biometric password. So you can see as what fingerprint scanning, voice authentication as the password, biometric. One is for my voice. So to the voice, it operates. To the voice, it open the gate. It was a voice, it will open the Facebook like that. So DNA matching, ear shaping matching. So there are new kind of things as come for biometric passwords. Okay, so these are some passwords for the biometric. So what is this biometric means? Is the data is collected from the user physically through a scanner or a camera equipped with recording and recognition software. There is a software which can scan and gather the relevant information, and it will be identified this is the correct person. Okay, this means that the user must be present to provide the information and must be present to authenticate at a physical location like workstation or smart device. Now it's like, now if you don't put a password to your don't put a fingerprint to your smart device like your smartphone, anyone can operate, no? So, but if you have a fingerprint included that system or that phone, until you put a finger, others cannot open the phone. So the biometric things also should be applied. And thank you very much, everyone. And we will see you with the new chapter next time. Bye for now.